that's just the Honda in me coming out.
Now then, welcome to an episode of Autobahn, I think I'm going to call this one, episode 5 maybe. Today's my first Saturday in 4 that I've had free. The past 3 Saturdays I've spent driving up and down the country. You know, I've told you the story, been all over finding cars, so today's the first free day I've had for a while. So what am I going to do? I'm going to spend the day freezing in this barn and we're going to get some jobs done on some of the cars. I've got quite a few jobs to do on the Volvo, nothing major, and then towards the end of the day, if it's dry, which it's not, it's raining, but I can't control that, I want to take the MR2 out. I've got my GoPro with me as well, so take you out and show you, because it sounds incredible now, the Toyota, but I've not actually driven it since I bought the car. Brought it back here, and I've not had a chance to drive it, and I really want to drive it, and it's a shame it's raining. It's trying to snow actually at the minute because it's that cold, but it's fine. We're going to go out in the Toyota, battle the elements. But first, we've got a few jobs to do on this. Nothing major. I've got a list, let me tell you the list. So we've got struts, yeah, the rear boot struts. You might notice at the minute the boot's being held open by a bit of wood. The reason for that is, if I remove the wood, yeah, it's just going to fall down. So I've got some new struts for the boot, get them changed. You don't understand how frustrating that is until you have it happen. I went and bought some new seats the other night, I'll show you in a sec, but I went and bought some new seats the other night for the Integra. And yeah, trying to load the car with the gas struts not working was not good. They're like inside the rear interior trim, so it could be a bit fiddly to get, but I'm sure we can manage. Wipers, oh yeah, the wipers are shit on this car, so I got some new wipers for it. Need to have a look at the suspension on this car as well. There's a weird, clunky, squeaky noise coming from the front left. Not sure what it is, but we're gonna have a look. It sounds, I don't know, it sounds weird. I need to go and have a look. It's like whenever you go on uneven surfaces, you can hear like a squeak and a rumble from the front left. And just want to find out what it is because it's a bit annoying, try and fix it. So yeah, that's the 3 jobs on the Volvo, just the inspection, wipers and struts. And then I need to put a different seat in the MR2 because I've got some new seats for the Integra, so I'm taking the seats out of the Integra and putting them in the MR2. And also we need to try and get a seat belt in there as well because there's not a seat belt in the MR2 either, which is why I've not been driving it because it had the fake Takata harnesses in and I didn't want to drive it with them, so I put my real Takata harnesses in and then realised I was missing a few bits. So I've got the bits now though, so we can get a seat belt in the MR2 and then we'll take it for a drive. So that's the plan for today. Sounds good? Cool. It's really cold, like I say. Luckily, Mix have sent me some fresh threads to try and keep me warm. Just before we get started on the Volvo, just to let you know my thoughts after a week. It's pretty epic, I really do like this car. I've had a few comments from people suggesting that I start modifying and pissing about with it, but I'm not going to do anything of that. I've also had a few comments from a few people telling me that this is their favourite BTCC car ever. Week 1's been alright. I had a puncture on the second day, exactly the same as the E36, got a puncture in the second day. It just seems to happen whenever I buy a car. I had the 330D as well, I had a puncture on that in the first week. I don't know, whenever I buy these cool estate cars, they just seem to like getting punctures straight away. That's sorted now, so that was a bit of a bummer, that's fixed. And yeah, got these couple of little jobs to do today just to make the car a bit nice, to try and find out where that squeak's coming from, because that'd be nice to get fixed. But overall, for £1,000, I can't complain, it's great. I really like the power of the thing, especially the auto box. I didn't think I'd like it at first, but the auto box, it's just so nice to waft about in, and then if you do need to like overtake someone, or if you need to, you know, make progress quickly, I know it sounds simple, but you literally just put your foot down and the car does everything, and it just fucks off, and it just and then you've got this tremendous 5-cylinder growl that just propels you into the sunset. It's great, it's good, I like it. Let's get these boot struts done.
Definitely a bit of an awkward one, this. It's not too bad. Oh yeah.
Okay, jobbed. Looking good. Now, it was quite a simple job, and I've got a shout out actually, because I couldn't figure out how to get the clips off on the existing struts that were on there. So I found this chap on YouTube, Robert DIY. Thanks to this guy.
You can also subscribe to my channel.
Robert DIY. Anyway, not too bad. Hardest thing was getting the circlets back in afterwards. The old struts basically just pried off. There's only a bit of trim to take out, wasn't as much as what I thought. I'll show you. I know you like Volvos. Let's go and have a look. Okay, so there's the struts there, just behind this bit of trim there, the front mounting point and the rear mounting point. This one bit of trim here, which goes all the way around, was just one screw to get it out. and then once that was out, you can get direct access to the strut, so not too bad at all. So I'm just putting the boot of the Volvo back together after the flat tyre incident that I had the other day, and I just noticed something pretty cool. I just want to share it with you because I think it's pretty cool. So your spare tyre in the back, it's not an alloy unfortunately, but it's the way in which the scissor jack that you get with the car attaches to the back. Obviously you don't want it flying around, so instead of just having like a little placeholder for it in the boot like a lot of cars do, the Volvo jack actually attaches to the spare wheel through the inside, and you've got this little clamp here. Oh, it's fucking heavy. But yeah, it clamps onto the back of it. And then when you put the spare wheel in, you've got like a little ratchet strap that you then use to tie the whole thing down. So you can see what I mean? It's not actually a ratchet, I got that wrong, but you know what I mean? There's a strap that goes through and then links through the centre of the jack and then holds everything in place. I say I keep finding cool little things about this car, just I don't know, I just like stuff like that. That wasn't supposed to happen. I'd broken the Volvo. Right, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but for some reason the wiper blade on the back of this tailgate only does like a little section here and then a little section here, then when it gets up to the top it kind of skips over something. I don't know if the blade's too big or something like that, but it really pisses me off. And, you know, a good wagon needs a good rear wiper, and the Audi's rear wiper broke about 3 years ago. And I've been without a rear wiper on an estate car now for, yeah, about 3 years. The motor was about 50 quid and I didn't think it was worth it. In this case, because this motor works, I'm going to change the blade and hopefully it fixes it. Yeah, as you can see, it's doing a nice bit here, fuck all here, and a little bit there as well. So maybe a new blade will fix it. See if that works. Short answer, no, it's still doing exactly the same thing. So obviously it's not pressing it down either or something, I don't know. I'm gonna have a quick look. I think I've found out why my wiper's not working so well. Now where he come from there? I was just greasing up the spring to see if that helps, and then this boy pops out. What are you doing? Look, I'm not gonna hurt you, I just want to make my wiper work again. If you can help me, mate, if you want to stay in that wiper arm there, if you want to just stay there and give it some extra force so we can do this centre bit. You see this dirty bit here, can you see it? I bet you can see it, you've got 8 eyes, haven't you? So you can definitely see it. Is that a Swedish spider? Can anyone identify it? Right, he's making a leap for it, which is good. So now he's gone, I'm going to continue to grease this. Hopefully that helps it a bit. Go on, you go under there, mate. You get those LED number plate bulbs, because I don't like them anyway. Right, I'm going to take a pause on the Volvo stuff for now because it's getting quite late in the afternoon and I really want to take the Toyota out. It's pissing it down outside, it's not good weather, it's freezing and it's cold and it's wet, but I really want to drive it because I've not driven it for ages and it's been sat here and I've been wanting to drive it every weekend, but I've been busy doing other stuff, so I want to go and drive it. I'll get the GoPro out, I'll let you hear it because it does sound pretty insane now with the map. It's got a new induction kit as well from when you last saw it. So yeah, what I'm going to do is get it out because the battery's dead at the minute as well, so I need to jump start it, get it out, and then I'll meet you on the GoPro, set my GoPro in there and I'll talk to you on that. So, be right back. Right, we're outside. Feels like we've not been outside for a while. I've been filming inside that barn for so long. I forgot what the daylight looks like, but here we are. MR2's out, and yeah, it is still raining a little bit. It's just spitting at the minute. I don't know if you can quite work it out, but the roads are quite wet, and with it being cold as well, it's pretty slippy. I'll just quickly show you the changes before we go actually. So we've got a different steering wheel. We've now got a Momo Prototipo, which is a nice wheel, but it's a bit flat, and therefore Seb's put a spacer in there, which doesn't quite agree with me, to be honest. It's a bit too far forward now, the steering wheel. I have taken the spacer off, but then the steering wheel's far too close to these stalks, so I don't know if to just try and find a spacer in the middle or perhaps go back to a dished wheel, but I do really like that wheel. I think it suits the car quite well. I've stuck one of my Recaros in here. Do intend to change this for the SPGs out of the DC2 and put both of them in, like both sides SPGs, but for the minute got one of my pole positions in there. I've also swapped the fake Takata harnesses that were in there for a set of real ones. As you know, I don't really like fake shit like that when it comes to seat belts and stuff. Got to have the real stuff, so got my Takatas. They were in the Integra a few years ago and now they're in the MR2. Okay, so let's go for a drive. The car is quite a lot different with the map. We've got a lot more mid-range power as well as a higher rev limit, and it does just sound insane. But I'll let the car do the talking. Let's go for a quick drive. Okay, we're off. So we're on a nice country road. So I don't know if you can see, but already it's just the steering wheel's a bit too close, and I'm a bit like this, battering the sides, the door card. Don't really like it, and I kind of feel like if I had to do some quick steering, then I kind of feel like that'd be a limitation. So this definitely needs to change. The seat, obviously, so much nicer than the seat that was in here before, the Corpo, whatever it was. Not that they're bad seats, it's just that particular seat was I think it was a steel frame one. So the VTEC crossover's a bit lower as well, so ready? Whoa! Now the brakes are a bit off. Whenever you brake hard in this car, since having it back, didn't used to do this before, but when you brake hard now, it dives to the left slightly. So guessing the front right caliper's probably not working as efficiently as it should, but the brake calipers weren't that great anyway. The overall brake performance was never that strong on this car previously. Oh, by the way, I've got another GoPro, right? But I need to change the lens on it. The lens is a bit dirty, my old GoPro, and I've got another mount as well, so soon, whenever I do these drive videos, I'll be able to have a camera facing forward and a camera facing this way as well, a bit like the smoking tyre. Sorry to copy you, Matt, but it's a good idea. I don't think you can really copyright camera angles, can you? But savage. So much water and mud on the roads. Yeah, so next time I do a video like this, I'll get cameras both ways so that you don't just have to stare at me all day. Whoa! So much water on the roads. It's really engaging trying to keep the car going at a fun pace down here. Big puddles everywhere. What do you think of the sound? I really like it. I know it's a bit yobbish and a bit loud, but I think it kind of suits the car because it's relatively calm now. You know, I've put it into top gear. It's relatively quiet, sedate, and then you just unleash the beast. I can't unleash the beast, I'm afraid, because I've just pulled into a 30 limit, so I'm going to slow the car down a bit. But yeah, it's just a different animal. Jekyll and Hyde now. Now it's had the remap, it really is like a K20 should be. And the only one difference compared to other tuned K20s is that this has still got the standard inlet manifold on the engine, the standard K20A2 inlet manifold. PRC maybe, or PRB, PRA? I can't remember, but most people swap them out for either an RRC or an RBC or an aftermarket Skunk 2 or something like that. Whereas this car's still got the stock inlet on, and that's because there's just simply not enough room between the engine and the firewall to fit a bigger inlet. So unfortunately you're stuck with the stock inlet, so you don't quite get as much of a mid-range punch as you would do if we had a different inlet manifold on there, but you don't really notice it. It still feels like a wicked cool car to drive. Wicked cool. What's that from? Wicked cool. We're nearly back, but we've got one last little road, which is a tight corner here, but then when we're around this, oh wait there, fucking horses. I do always slow for horses. I don't like them, but I do always slow for them because I don't want them fucking putting the roof through my windscreen, do I? Right, now that's done. We'll get a bit away from the horses before we start VTECing, because I don't want to upset the horses. You know, they pay their road tax, I pay my road tax. Oh, wait a minute. That's only 6,000 RPM. We've got another 2,500 to go. The new rev limit's 8,650. And I've caught up to this Honda Accord here. He's going 35, 860. Shall I do him? I want to, but nah. Just wait for an overtaking spot, then I'll get to the next line. Fuck it. I'm going for it. I'm going for it. It's definitely a lot faster now with this remap. Oh yeah. But I'm just way too sketchy on the roads. I can't wait for it to be summer to get this roof off and have some top-down VTEC fun. That's going to be good. Right, so I'm nearly back now, so that's it for the MR2. We've given it a run. As I say, I've got a few issues with the brakes I need to look at. I need to sort this steering wheel out because I don't like how close I am to the door car with my right elbow. It's too close. The wheel needs to be further in. I can't move the seat any further back. This seat is all the way back to the roll cage, so I can't put the seat further back, so I need to move the steering wheel forward. We'll figure out a way how to do that. Right, so back on with the Volvo. I'll see you inside. I'm going to start talking to myself in a second, so everyone's aware. Right, so I've made it back. I've got the Volvo jacked up. Sorry about the light, it's got really dark really fast, and yeah, not a lot I can do. We need to get some more lights in here on this side. Be a lot better in due time. So anyway, I've been looking at my Volvo. As you can see, it's jacked up behind me. Managed to get the front jacked up on the front subframe, which is nice. I love it when the manufacturers leave a jack point at the front where you can lift the both front columns up at once. Obviously that's better when you're looking at suspension items as well, because everything's unloaded. Obviously you've not got the anti-roll bar connected to both sides and stuff like that, which will give you issues if you just jack it on one side. So nice to know that Volvo have given us a jacking point in the front so we can jack the front up. So it's up, and I've been trying to find this suspension squeak that I've got. I've got a weird... It's an odd sound. It sounds to me like a spring. Right, so I've got the car jacked up, and I've been looking around for issues, trying to find where this noise is coming from, just checking all the bushes and track rod ends and stuff like that. To me, it kind of sounds springy, and having a look, the only thing that I can kind of find issue with is the spring. If I pull on the spring when I'm like just in there now, I can get a bit. I can almost get like a. I can almost recreate the noise to some extent, really slightly, obviously, because it's not got the weight of the car on it. But I can kind of hear the noise coming from the spring. But the spring's in fine and everything looks all right. But all I can see is that maybe it's like a lot of spring cups. They'll have like a rubber pad at the bottom of it, and this car hasn't. So I'm wondering if it's just missing a bit of rubber at the bottom of the spring, and that's the noise that I'm hearing when I'm driving. Is perhaps the bottom of the spring just colliding with the shock. That's all I can think of, to be honest. But I'll let you have a look in there. I've just obviously found out that it's got these nice, you see the yellow dampers, they're Coney dampers, and I did hear it had them, and obviously you hear a lot of things when you buy a car, but it's nice to know they're actually there. So yeah, we've got some nice dampers on there. Red springs as well, so it's yellow dampers and red springs. So if you know what combination that is, I don't know, apparently it's Coney something or other, but if you know what it is, let me know, because I'd like to know more about that. Yeah, the car's definitely lower than a standard T5. I was looking at some pictures of T5s recently, obviously, when I've been geeking up about them, and yeah, it definitely sits a bit lower than the normal one. But yeah, let me show you inside. Right, okay, so here we go. We've got my yellow dampers there and the red spring. I have cleaned them up slightly. They were a bit dirty when I took the wheel off. Lost a bit of paint in the process, but they're all good. I checked, they're not leaking or anything like that, so that's nice to know. Yeah, apart from that, the car is super clean. Like, just show you underneath here. The sills and everything are just golden. There's nothing, no issues at all underneath. It's all good. It's a bit wet because obviously it's raining outside, but everything's good. Right guys, so I've just been inspecting the other side of the car to see if I could find any differences, between each side. I was hoping to try and find a spring pad or something like that on this side, which the other side didn't have, but they're exactly the same, which is worrying as well. The sound that I'm getting is only coming from the passenger side. It's like I'm pretty sure it's a spring. Like, I might just maybe take the dampers apart, maybe some new top mounts and stuff, and just see if we can get any spring pads or something like that for the base. I need to do some Googling and do some research, see if anyone's had these kind of issues before. If you've had these kind of issues with a Volvo, a squeaky front left. It's not so much a squeak as a grind. It definitely sounds like a spring sound to me. If you know what, as if the spring's kind of rotating. But the spring cups do have kind of locators at the bottom for the end of the coil, and they're all seated fine. So, oh, they are seated fine now. You know, they might be moving when I'm driving, but yeah, not too sure. But I've had a look, so I've done my bit. Been a good day. Got some jobs done on the Volvo. Drove the MR2. Nice. The MR2 felt good today. Yeah, I've missed that, and yeah, looking forward to driving it again when it's a bit nicer outside, because it wasn't the best weather for driving that car, but it was nice to have it out anyway. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Right guys, I sometimes do these little ends to the videos, and sometimes they're a bit funny, a bit comical, or sometimes it's something I forgot to include in the video and I just want to share it at the end. But this time I just want to say that my rear wiper's working absolutely class, and driving home and seeing the wiper move and actually clear the rear screen was probably one of the happiest moments of this year so far. It was a magical moment. So I'm getting that greasing that spring up and getting rid of the spider and also the new blades, sorted it out, so yeah, I'm happy with that. Right, see you next video.